Hi, this is Mark. In this video, I'm going to delve into the negatives of having very high testosterone level. I've tested my levels over the past 6 years, and my total T has ranged from 771 to 939 nanograms per deciliter. I recently tested at 771, and my free testosterone this year at the age of 31 was at 154.8 picograms per milliliter, and the range goes from 35 to 155 picograms per milliliter. So I was nearly flagged high. I wasn't taking much at the time. I've tested my levels before using Quest, and when I was taking nothing but CBD, I take CBD oil mainly to alleviate pain or help sleep. My level was 133 picograms per milliliter, which is pretty good. This time around, I took Tongal Ali, which is a supplement that can lower SHBG. And my SHBG previously was about 39, ranges from 15 to 55. And now it's in the 20s, and of course, my total T actually went down, but my free T went up. My total T previously was 870 last year in July, and free T was 133. Now it's nearly above the range with my recent test. So, in terms of the negative side effects of having high levels, is excess estradiol. Now, everyone has a different range, and in general, when your estradiol or sensitive estradiol is very high, you can run into some issues. Now, it also depends on your sensitivity to estradiol. Now, the interesting thing about my level is I've had it tested past 3 or so years, and my level has ranged from 50 to 62 picograms per milliliter, and that's my sensitive estradiol. And the range is less than 29. So it is elevated above the range. Now, I don't really experience water retention or bloating, or I don't experience the fat gain. I actually have relatively low body fat. I have good vascularity. If you look at my vein right here, it really, really pops out, especially when I'm, flexing. And my vascularity is very good, and I have the main side effect is irritability. I can get mood swings at times, sensitivity issues. It's like a male PMS, you get sensitive, more sensitive than typical. And estradiol, it can affect different areas like the brain. It may affect, and everyone has different sensitivities. I don't think my body's that sensitive. I think my androgens overpower the estradiol. And my DHT is on the higher end as well, so that can antagonize estradiol. But yeah, that is the main negative is anxiety and irritability. Sometimes can be very prone to anxiety or have irritable episodes at times, and it can be more profound than when I actually suffered low T back in the day when I was under stress. So either extreme can actually lead to these mood swings. If the levels are too high or too low, it can lead to mood swings. That's why it's good to have good balance of hormones. You don't want to elevate it too high for your body to withstand or handle. And that also depends on your thyroid hormones. So I would recommend check your thyroid hormones, because if it's off, a lot of times I've noticed, like, if testosterone's elevated, the thyroid demands tend to be higher. It can actually rev up, put more demand on your system. And so it's very pivotal to always check your adrenals, your thyroid, make sure everything's balanced, because especially when your adrenals out of whack, or your thyroid, it's very hard for the body to deal with high testosterone. So I wouldn't say like, oh yeah, high testosterone's bad, and it's always going to cause negative problems. No, but I think in general you can run into some sides, and even erectile dysfunction at high levels of testosterone, just because of aromatization, and it can be very hard to control estradiol. It's a hormone that, if you were to actually balance your hormone or even lower your testosterone and lower your estradiol in a good sweet spot, you would have better erectile function than you would if you had very high T and very high estradiol. And that's just from my view. I've seen many people's blood work, and they've experienced similar effects. So if you do decide to jump on TRT, one thing to consider, I would not take an aromatase inhibitor. Estradiol is very essential. It's good for the heart, good for vascularity, good for the brain. But I would try to support your liver, because when you take TRT, it's going to be metabolized in your liver. It's very essential to support your liver, which then also supports your thyroid function and output, because they work synergistically, and your body has to metabolize hormones via the liver and helps balance and create that high testosterone estradiol ratio that you are looking for. So yeah, I mean, having high testosterone certainly has its benefits. I mean, for me, leaning out, like losing body fat, I maintain a six-pack all year round without even working out. I've met some people or women may even assume I could be, I've noticed that some women don't like six-packs. Well, here's the thing. Having a six-pack doesn't mean you work out your abs all the time, which I don't. It could mean you have high levels of testosterone or are sensitive to the hormone. So I think women a lot of times can be very insecure in that way when it comes to like liking dad bod or whatever. It's a security thing, I think, and also the reason they may like dad bod is for cushion, or because a guy can appear larger, giving off the illusion of size. But I think a lot of times, it's a security thing, and women can be insecure if they're with a guy who's ripped. So just putting that out there. Now, again, having high testosterone is something, I wouldn't say you should manipulate your hormones where you're shooting for excessive. I would say it's best to try to find a level that is comfortable for you. And everyone is different. Everyone responds to different ranges. So when you are on TRT, you got to start finding your sweet spot, the zone that you function at the best. It could be you could function best at 600. You may be 1200, maybe 800. Generally, when you go beyond 1,000, especially with TRT, the suppression effect of SHBG from exogenous testosterone, you can run into issue. Now, SHBG is not always a positive, having low SHBG, because it's a clearance. That protein actually keeps the hormones in the body for sustained periods. And when SHBG is normal, it's good. It means your body is actually not clearing excessive hormones or testosterone. It's clearing a large proportion, but the bounded part is still able to at least exhibit a physiological effect, and it maintains in your body for a longer half-life, sustained periods, and is not just being cleared by the liver rapidly. And when your SHB is so low, it gets cleared so rapidly that it's has basically your body is going to you're not going to saturate the receptors very frequently. It's just going to get removed from the body fast, and you're going to suffer generally low testosterone symptoms or problems with especially with dealing with the excess aromatization that could be due to inflated free testosterone in your system. Now, having extremely high SHB is also bad because it's an indication of liver problems, and the body's inability to metabolize estradiol efficiently. And estradiol will definitely ramp up. If it's too high for your body, it will ramp up your SHBG. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you do have high levels, I just recommend trying to support the liver, the thyroid, and the organ system in general. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.